What's up, NHL fans around the world? The Olympics is officially here. I watched the opening ceremonies. It's pretty cool. A lot of opera, a lot of music, a lot of countries around the world coming in, walking around, presenting their flag, waving to the fans. That was awesome. From Sochi, Russia. That was cool, man. You know, the Olympics is something that brings most of the world together. It's something that it puts a smile on my face, you know. There's a lot of things that's going crazy around the world. You got the stock markets going up and down, teams around the NHL going up and down, you know. You have the Super Bowls. Hey, Seahawks, champions. They're the world champs. They did something amazing. I couldn't believe they beat the Broncos. The Broncos were supposed to win that game, but hey, that's what happens. When you believe in yourselves, when everybody thinks you're going to lose, and then you prove to the world that you can win. That's what happens. With Russell Wilson, you know, Sherman, and the rest of the gang, they did a good job. They played hard. They never gave up. They never gave in. They believed in one another. And sometimes that goes a long way. It's called perseverance. It's called willpower. And it's in all of us. Sometimes you got to understand, folks, that's what it takes to win the Stanley Cup. That's what it takes to win the Super Bowl. That's what it takes to win our World Series. That's what it takes to win the World Cup. You know, it takes everybody working together and showing what it's all about. It's teamwork. Teamwork comes in, comes out. You gotta go for it, folks. You have to believe you can push together as a team and push together as a unit. It doesn't take an individual to win something. It takes a team to win something. And that's what you saw with the Seahawks. It's teamwork. And that's what I think the Mariners are gonna do. I've heard rumors. They've actually, not even rumors, I can actually officially say that Fernando Rodney is officially a Mariner. He signed with the Mariners yesterday, 2 years, $14 million. And you add that to the Robinson Cano, and there's still some talk out of Seattle that they are in talks right now with Mr. Cruz. So, you know, Nelson Cruz, one of the game's premier right-handed power bats, right fielders in the game nowadays, he is a difference maker. I think when it's all said and done, he'll make a difference in them making the playoffs or not making the playoffs for the Seattle Mariners. You know, hey, it's Seahawks Nation now. So if the Mariners ever going to get some credibility or even some fans to the game, they got to start winning some ball games. And I think getting Robinson Cano, bringing in Fernando Rodney, trying to get Tanaka, but losing out, at least they gave it a valiant try. I think, you know, bringing in Cruz with this team now and some of those young players they have, I think they can make a difference. And anything's possible, right? So let's get down to NHL trade rumors, folks, for this amazing day. It's beautiful outside for February 7th, 2014. The year 2014, we're in February. I got a little bit of hockey in there. I got a little bit of wrestling in here. So even mixed martial arts. I watched UFC 169 last week. It wasn't the greatest card. There was some decisions there I laugh at, but it was good to see Overeem win. He beat Mir. It is what it is. Now we move on to some rumors. Looks like the Oilers and the Kings, and so here's the latest from Eck at HockeyBuzz.com. The Oilers and the Kings have continued talks on a deal that would switch Neil Yakupov to Neil Yakupov and Gagne, but even a bigger name in Edmonton has been discussed briefly. So there's talks around Gagne and Neil Yakupov. Yakupov scored a nice goal last night. I watched that game. I saw some of the highlights, and it was a pretty nice goal he scored. So you never know in these type of games. You know, with the Oilers, they're actually starting to win some games. You know, they beat the Rangers 2-1 last night, and they've won their last 2 games. They're playing pretty good hockey right now. You know, after they acquired Mark Fraser from the Leafs in a minor league deal, you know, Mark Fraser's going to bring some toughness to that team. I really believe, you know, it's all about confidence. And the Islanders are looking to be making a huge move here. Vanek, there's rumors coming out of Los Angeles as of I speak, as we get close to that deadline of you know, trade freeze for the Olympic break. There's talk that Vanek could be going to the Kings. There's talk that he could be going to the Canucks. There's even talk he could be going to a team called the St. Louis Blues. The likelihood of him going to the Kings is really high. From what I'm hearing, it looks like they're in talks as we speak, the Islanders and the Kings, and there's still a 2% chance he could re-sign with the Islanders, but it looks like it's all but done. He ain't gonna resign with that team. They offered him quite a bit of money. He turned them down. It looks like he wants to become an unrestricted free agent at the end of the year. So if he does go to LA, or he goes to Vancouver, or he goes to St. Louis in Thomas Vanek, that he will for sure become an unrestricted free agent. He'll just be a rental. If this deal does happen today for Friday, I can tell you right now that I can guarantee you that he will be a rental. Doesn't matter which team he goes to. Same thing with Ryan Miller. He could resign with the team he gets traded to. There are talks of the Islanders making a run at Ryan Miller. We'll see. There is St. Louis. They need a goalie. You can see in Halak's game, I watched Halak play the last 2 weeks here. He's been struggling. He's been letting some really bad goals in. You got to feel that they're going to maybe make a move for some goaltending. When you look at the Vancouver Canucks, they lost again against Montreal. They've lost almost, 6 games in a row. They haven't managed to get a point. Daniel Sedin's been struggling. Henrik Sedin is injured. He's off the Olympic team. He's going to be out for another couple weeks. So when they do come back from the winter break, or basically Olympic break, what type of Henrik Sedin are we going to see? He's not looking good, folks. I mean, he's hurt. They need to go get some help. They need a center. They need a winger. I'm hearing rumors of Dave Bolin in Toronto could be available. And I think Mike Gillis might take a run at Dave Bolin. There is talk, even Halish Hemsky, talk of a Brad Boys in Florida. But I hear those guys are not available right now. Even Tom Gilbert, who's having a career year, he's really involved getting the job done. Philadelphia, I hear, are still interested in Dustin Byfuglien in Philadelphia, in Winnipeg, and Evander Kane with Vancouver. There is a rumor out there that Edler, maybe Burrows, may be going to Winnipeg for Evander Kane. That trade could happen at the trade deadline. I heard it like a couple weeks ago, but I really doubt that deal would happen. It would be an amazing deal, I think, for both teams. You know, here's a guy, Evander Kane, who is from Vancouver, who played for the Vancouver Giants, who would bring some speed, a guy that can score lots of goals. They could finally get that winger that they've always wanted in Vancouver, that can score consistently. They'd give up quite a bit, you know. In Burrows, they're getting a really tough player who scored 30 goals twice in his career. Edler, up-and-coming young defenseman. There's no doubt. But we'll see what happens. The New York Rangers, I hear rumors that, you know, after they made the Delzato deal, there's some talk right now with the Callahan situation. The Colorado Avalanche are actually in talks with the New York Rangers on a deal that would send P.A. Parento, maybe, for Ryan Callahan. And maybe an extra prospect from the Colorado Avalanche will go to the Rangers to make this deal more sweet for that team. So we'll see what happens, folks. You know, you never know in this game. Deals do happen. Players do move to different teams. You know what I gotta say about the Olympics? I mean, next week the games really get going. The Olympics are fun. You know, I love bobsled. I love the downhill. I love, you know, snowboarding. That's one of my favorite events to watch, and I'm going to be watching. I watched some figure skating already yesterday, and you know, the opening ceremonies was really, really cool. I mean, they put on an amazing show for all the fans around the world. I mean, 4 years ago I watched it too. You know, sometimes you got to flip the channel because it's so long, but you know, in the end, it's really, really cool, folks. Especially, you know, it's in February now. You know, Super Bowl's all done, football's all done. You know, hockey's back, main center. You know, Olympics. You know, athletes, amateur athletes around the world, you know, get to go out there and perform in front of the planet. You know, it's going to be really, really cool. NBA All-Star Games next week. I'm going to be watching that and be talking about some stuff. There is some rumors cooking around the New York Knicks. I still think the Knicks might make a move for Kyle Lowry, even though, you know, Lowry's been playing some amazing basketball lately. Same thing with DeRozan. There might be a move with those two guys probably going to New York. There is some talk going around that, you know, the Raptors, even though they're playing awesome this year, they still want to make a significant move to maybe get a player in this draft. So Just watch for that to probably happen. For you NBA junkies out there that love to hear some rumors and stuff, the Lakers, I hear rumors that Paul Gasol probably going to the Suns. I think that will probably happen around All-Star weekend. There's some real talk on those two teams probably making a move. You know, even with Kobe Bryant coming back in like a couple weeks here, saw Steve Nash play. He looked pretty good. I mean, Lakers winning with only 6 players is a testament. You know, it cost the GM his job and Chris Grant. So, you know, that's what happens in Cleveland. You know, they have been just bad this year. Anthony Bennett has been a disappointment. You know, when you're the #1 pick overall, you have to step up your game. And, you know, Anthony Bennett has been finding the NBA to be really, really difficult. He hasn't really gotten the job done at times, but he's just starting to find his legs. I think he'll be a good pro. He might not be a superstar, but I think he'll be like a 4 or 5-time All-Star. He has the talent to be a Larry Johnson. There's a lot of comparisons between him and Larry. So, you know, that's what I see coming in the near future. And then professional wrestling, I mean, MVP, man, TNA. You know, they're making a comeback, baby. You know, they get rid of Sting, they get rid of AJ Styles, they get rid of Hulk Hogan. I think they still have Eric Bischoff and a few others behind the scenes, but they get rid of a lot of talent and they bring in some new talent, and Eddie Edwards and Davey Richards, the American Wolves, and these guys have really brought something pretty cool to TNA now. I think they have a chance, man. You never know. Jeff Jarrett got his promotion coming. You got WWE with the WWE Network coming real soon here. The CM Punk mystery continues. No, I don't blame Punk. Now, sometimes you got to say no. It's like saying no to drugs. You got to say no to these people. All these people want to do is want to make money off your back. That's all it is, you know. They don't care about you. They might pretend to care about you. They'll just give you a few more money, you know. Sometimes you got to look deep down inside and say, I have pride. I'm sticking up for my co-workers. And that's what he's doing. He's sticking up for Ziggler. He's sticking up for all the young guys like Daniel Bryan that, you know, they never will get the push that they deserve. You know, you just look at the politics, you know, like Triple H and Vince McMahon and Stephanie McMahon and HBK. You know, you never see him behind the scenes, but, you know, he's still in control. You know, you gotta understand the thing about these people. They doing things their way. Batista, okay? Hulk Hogan. Once Hulk Hogan comes in, he's my guy, man. Hulk Hogan, you know, and you got Sting. That's when WWE is going to get interested. You're starting to see it. You know, they haven't taken over yet, but they're starting to take over. WWE Network, WCW presence on it, ECW, some of the old Raw days and SmackDown days. The only thing that's bad is they're going to do the pay-per-views for free on their network. So I know you got to pay $9.99 a month, but I think the WWE should keep that separate from their network because it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt their TV deal. I think their negotiations with USA, I guess, or NBC. I just don't think they're going to get a deal done with USA, NBC. I think, though, and Comcast, I think the deal that will shock everybody will be with Turner. I think it will be a deal with Time Warner. Be worth $1 billion over 10 years. They'll get a smoking deal. They'll get, you know, I think Time Warner will own part of the WWE when it's all said and done. You know, like they own WCW, right? So you got Hulk Hogan involved. So you got to believe behind the scenes with Vince McMahon, Triple H, and the rest of those cronies and executives, Miss Wilson and stuff, that you got to believe Time Warner wants WWE bad. I hear rumors that ESPN, if they're really serious, they'll throw the money at them and they'll get them. Because I think WWE understand if they can get on ESPN, they made it. But if they can get back, if they go on TBS, you know, on TNT and all these other networks they're under, like CW, sky's the limit, you know. SmackDown on CW was pretty good. You know, even My 28 or whatever. I mean, it was pretty good. And, you know, can you imagine getting, you know, Raw and TNT on Monday nights? It'd be like WCW, man. It'd be like Monday Night Raw. It'd be like Nitro in a way. You'll have the same explosion. You'll have the same, you know, every Thursday night. No, actually, no, every Monday night, having Raw on TNT. And on Tuesday nights, they have SmackDown on TBS. I mean, live, and people will be ready to watch it. I think that would be super, super cool. So we'll see what happens in the negotiations. They probably won't get anything done for the next 3 weeks. Probably sometime in March or April, we'll hear some more news on it. That's from what I'm hearing. But let me tell you, folks, wrestling is cool. You know, even with TNA, WWE, Ring of Honor is getting good. You know, with AJ Styles there, you know, he's going to make a real big difference. You know, Ring of Honor has developed some really good stars the last few years, and they're going to continue. I mean, AAA's coming to America, and they're going to make a big difference. So, thanks for watching, folks. For NHL Trade Rumors, this is Mark Spencer saying so long, and enjoy the Olympics.